Hi, today we're going to talk about 10 techniques to help manage mental load to help feeling less overwhelmed. So, technique number one is offer choices. So, when we get overwhelmed with the ADHD brain and scattered and chaotic at times, sometimes people will ask us, how can I help you? And that just seems more overwhelming because now I have to think about how to delegate responsibilities and tasks or ask for help. And so we end up just saying, I'll do it myself. Don't worry about it. So people that are close to you at home and in your work situation and friends, if they notice you're getting frazzled or overwhelmed and they want to offer help, maybe ask them to say, offer me one or two suggestions. Don't offer me everything. Instead of saying, I can make you dinner for you, which can be overwhelming, say, would you like spaghetti or would you like tacos tonight for dinner? And then they can pick between one or the two. So that helps kind of calm the mental load, not build on mental load, but gives you options. Similarly, when you're delegating out things to other people that might seem overwhelmed or have a lot on their plate, give them options. Hey, do you want me to do this or this? Instead of how can I support you in this effort? So that one is something that's been really helpful for me to decrease mental load, mental exhaustion, mental feeling overwhelmed. Number two is externalizing things. So if we put things where we will see and remember them, then it might not save us time, but it will help maybe clear up our mental space or let us feel less overwhelmed and frazzled. For example, if you like to take your vitamins every morning with breakfast, or if you know tomorrow for work you need to take this folder with you, set the vitamins on the table where you eat breakfast. So in the morning, doesn't save you time because you already moved the vitamins the night before, but it saves you willpower and mind and mental loads so that you don't have to remember all night that I need to take that folder to work tomorrow. I need to take my vitamins with breakfast. It's there. So you're going to sit down at the breakfast table anyway. Now you see the vitamins and it's just easy to connect and do those things together. Similarly, the folder is by your work purse or your work backpack or whatever you take to work. So you're going to remember it versus remembering that you have to get it from your office space. So that one is externalizing things. Similarly, creating visual cues can be really helpful. So Post-it notes or writing a memo on a whiteboard, something like that so you see it, because oftentimes with ADHD, with our brains out of sight, out of mind, if we can see it somewhere that we can see regularly or we'll go back to, like the fridge or the bathroom mirror or a Post-it note on our computer, we will remember it, and then we don't have to mentally keep that mental load up here to remember it. We know it's external somewhere that we will see and remember it. Number four is having less things to manage. So maybe evaluating our to-do list or our plate and say, do I really need all of these things right now in my life? Some of them might be nice to have, but if it's too much and getting too overwhelming and chaotic and stressing you out and your mental headspace is just all over the place, maybe we don't need it all right now. For example, my daughter's in preschool. She started preschool this year. So I said, first, let's just start preschool. Make sure that is good for her and good for us. Then once that was okay, let's add in one dance class a week because that's manageable and that's a good thing and we can fit it in now. But I said no to soccer for this year. Not that soccer is bad. It's just, do we need all this stuff on our plate? Just because it's good doesn't mean we need to say yes to it. So sometimes if we bring in and say yes to too many things, even if they're good, it's too much on our mental load. It's too much on our plates, and it's hard for us to think clearly and help with our anxiety and our ADHD processing because we just have too many things on our plate. So for us, we're just focusing on preschool and dance one day a week, and that's enough change, and that's enough on our plate, and we are happy and full with that. So reevaluate what you're doing. Where can I decrease responsibilities? Where can I decrease things that might be good, but maybe not now as the right time in your life? That will help with mental load. The next one is set reminders. So sometimes alarms or reminders or snoozing an email or putting a future date for that email to pop back up so you can see it in a week or a month so that you know you won't forget about something important that you need to do a month from now, but you don't have to keep it all on your brain and in your headspace. One more thing to help you de-stress and feel less frazzled. Number 6, I really like this one too. I'm working on this one, is designate and delegate a whole area of responsibilities and the mental load that goes along with it to someone else, whether that's in work and home life and friends. Especially as women, we take on too much. We're responsible for everything. We want things to go well. We're moms or career women. So we try to do it all, and it's just too much oftentimes on our mental load, and it's taking a toll on our focus, concentration, motivation, productivity. So this would be, for example, you're designating the task, which we can do sometimes, but we have to designate the mental load and be okay with the outcomes to someone else. So for example, in my household, that might be me delegating getting the beach bag and the beach stuff ready for my husband to do. So I need to completely delegate that task, the responsibility to him, and the mental load. So, hi, husband, please today, can you get ready the beach bag? We're going to leave to the beach in about half an hour. And please take responsibility to make sure you include everything we need. Because what do we do? What do? I say, can you please get the beach bag ready? But then 15 minutes later, I'm like, so did you get the sunscreens? Did you get the umbrella? Did you get the water? So we're kind of helping ourselves by delegating tasks to others, but then we're not really, because we still are carrying that mental load of, did you do this? Did you do this? We're still in charge, the mother or the leader in that role. So we really need to get better at delegating and letting it be and giving them the mental load and offloading that on someone else. With practice, it gets easier. And also practicing starting with small things and making sure that is fine and being okay with the results before you build up to other things that might be super crucial. And if they forget something, it might be a lot more catastrophic. So that's the one that I'm really working on too. I've seen to be helpful. Being kind to yourself is area number 7 we can work on to decrease mental load. What do women, ADHDers, successful career women, what do? We set standards for ourselves. We set more and more bars to hit and expectations and levels we want to get to, but we're not very good at patting ourselves on the back or acknowledging our compliments, basking, sitting, rewarding ourselves for compliments. We're just always more, do, accomplish, next. So being kind to yourself is really important so that we can sit, reflect, pat ourselves on the back, and then keep moving forward. That can take off the mental load. Getting sleep. So what are ADHDers? What are we good at? We might not get as much done in the days we like to, maybe due to time blindness or putting too much on our calendar or just not having the motivation, procrastinating, getting distracted. So what do? We push those things that we didn't get done during the day to the evening hours. So what happens now? So our sleep hours are decreased because now we're getting the things done that we thought we needed to get done during the day, during the hours we should be sleeping. So finding better balance with that. Does this need to get done during my sleeping hours and jeopardizing those sleeping hours, or can I wait till the next day? Or how do I find that ebb and flow and balance with that? Because if we keep eating into our sleep time for productivity or things we didn't finish during the day, we're ultimately jeopardizing our sleep. And sleep, as we know, is so crucial for focus, concentration, motivation, stress, everything. So trying to prioritize and keep sleep and allow sleep its time is really important. That will also help us feel more poised, collected when we have a rested brain. Getting the perspective straight. So sometimes we just get stuck in the middle of everything and the me mentality and me in the middle and how do I get everything done today? And yes, our life is important and details are important, but sometimes we need to take a step back, right? So are we stuck in the weeds or the trees? Can we not see the forest? Another one that I really like is, does everything in your world right now feel on fire? Is everything so urgent it just feels like a fire or chaotic? Then maybe our face is too close to the candle, right? So maybe we just need to take our face away from the candle a little bit, reevaluate the situation, the reality of what's going on, and then regroup and go fast. A lot of times we're just go. So we're just stuck in the midst of it, but we're not taking a step back to look at everything. And that would help calm down the mental load. The last thing, number 10 on the list of 10 things that can help calm the mental load, is to lower your standards and expectations. Maybe right now in your life, there are some things and areas of your life that you're okay and you should be lowering your expectations and standards with, because where things have been or where they're at now are just, it doesn't work with your lifestyle. It doesn't work with your work or family situation right now. And maybe it's being a disservice to you and maybe it's giving you more stress and mental load than we really need. For example, for me, I have a toddler and a baby at home, a toddler who throws food and is potty training. So maybe for me, I've had to lower my standards and be okay with the house is going to be clean and organized for the most part, good enough, but it's not going to be how it used to be. And it's not going to be perfect any of the time because it's just unrealistic for my headspace and for my reality right now. So it's okay to lower standards when it's appropriate and for the time being, if it's in an area that's not crucial in our life right now. What do ADHD women, successful women do? We have high standards and high bars to hit because we've had to have those standards because we've had to work so hard in our industry to get where we're at. But in some areas of our life, maybe it's okay to take the back seat a little bit, to chill off and say, this doesn't need to be like this right now. This doesn't need to be perfect. Why am I even holding myself to these standards in some areas? So of these 10, you're not going to need all 10, but pick 1 or 2 that you find most helpful or aha, or I should work on that or process it or include it in my day. And it should be really helpful at decreasing the overwhelm, the scattered, the feeling like we're thinking of a million things a minute and have so much on our minds to keep track of. Decrease our mental load so that we can continue working to being more poised, collective, controlled, and in a good headspace. All right, that's it for today. Thanks.